Meghan Markle's latest project, a cooking show, is already facing major backlash, but it's her response that's making headlines. After test screenings of her new cooking show, fans were less than impressed, and instead of addressing their concerns, Meghan took to social media to lash out. This isn't the first time she's clashed with the public, but her latest outburst has left many wondering, how far is she willing to go to defend her image? Meghan Markle has always been a polarizing figure. Whether you love her or hate her, there's rarely a neutral stance. But her latest public confrontation with fans? Well, it's stirring up even more controversy. The Duchess of Sussex recently launched a cooking show, an ambitious project that she hoped would highlight the importance of food and culture, all while elevating female chefs. The show was meant to be heartwarming and relatable, featuring recipes and stories from women around the world. But when test audiences saw the early cuts, the response wasn't what Meghan had hoped for. Some fans criticized the show for feeling too staged or too scripted, while others simply felt it lacked the authenticity they expected from Meghan. After all, her public persona has been built on themes of vulnerability and realness, especially since stepping away from royal duties. So when viewers felt that the cooking show didn't align with that image, the backlash came quickly. But instead of addressing the feedback with grace, Meghan lashed out. Her social media posts in response were filled with fiery comments aimed at critics, telling them to shut up and accusing them of not understanding her vision. She claimed that the negative feedback came from a place of misunderstanding and misrepresentation, and that her intentions were pure. Her reaction didn't stop there. She even called out specific commenters who had criticized her choice of recipes, with some pointing out that they weren't the most authentic to the cultures they supposedly represented. Meghan's response was sharp, almost defensive, as she continued to accuse her detractors of misjudging her intentions. And while this could be chalked up to an emotional response, it's hard to ignore the larger implications of Meghan's actions. Many wonder whether this kind of outburst is part of a larger pattern. After all, her history with the media has been rocky, to say the least. From her infamous Oprah interview to her ongoing battles with the British royal family, Meghan has never been one to shy away from confrontation. But this time, the clash wasn't with journalists or royal insiders. It was with her own fans. Fans who, in many cases, have supported her through thick and thin. Fans who believed in her mission and believed she had the potential to change the way people viewed royalty and celebrity. So, what does it mean when the very people who are supposed to be in your corner start to criticize your work? And more importantly, how should someone like Meghan Markle, a public figure with millions of eyes on her, respond to negative feedback? Some argue that Meghan's reaction is a sign of frustration. After all, this isn't just any cooking show. This is a project that's deeply personal to her. It reflects her values, her interests, and even her background. For someone who's spent much of her life in the spotlight, constantly scrutinized for everything from her fashion choices to her personal relationships, it's understandable that she might feel defensive about something she cares so deeply about. But the issue runs deeper than just hurt feelings. Meghan has built her public image around themes of empowerment and authenticity. She's positioned herself as someone who's different from the typical celebrity, someone who speaks out against injustice and advocates for causes she believes in. When people criticize her cooking show, they're not just criticizing a random project, they're questioning the very brand she's worked hard to build. The backlash isn't just about the cooking show's content. It's about Meghan's ability to live up to the expectations she set for herself. For many, her outburst feels out of character. Isn't she the one who's supposed to stand for kindness, understanding, and compassion? Her response to this criticism has many scratching their heads, wondering if there's more to this story than meets the eye. But let's be clear, Meghan is not the first public figure to lash out at critics. We've seen countless celebrities get defensive when their work is torn apart. It's a natural human reaction, especially when you're invested in something so personally. But there's a difference between defending your work and alienating the very people who are supposed to be your supporters. And Meghan's response to the backlash is not just about her cooking show, it's about the broader perception of her as a public figure. If she continues to lash out at critics every time something goes wrong, will she begin to lose support from the very people who were once in her corner? It's not just about the cooking show anymore, it's about how Meghan responds to criticism. In general, will she continue to defend herself in the same combative way? Or will she learn to take a step back and reflect before engaging with her detractors? Of course, Meghan's reaction also raises another question. What kind of feedback is fair game when it comes to public projects like this? Meghan Markle is a public figure who chose to take on a project that would put her under the microscope. She knew that her cooking show would be analyzed, scrutinized, and critiqued by audiences. But does that mean she should have just accepted the negative feedback without pushing back? There's a fine line between defending your work and engaging. In an online war with your critics, and Meghan seems to be walking that line precariously. Some fans are already taking sides. Some are backing her up, saying she has every right to defend her work, while others are calling her out for being too defensive and not taking the feedback with the grace she's known for. But the bigger question remains, is this just the beginning of a new chapter for Meghan Markle, where she increasingly distances herself from the public? Or is this just a temporary reaction to a bump in the road? Whether you agree with her response or not, one thing's clear. Meghan Markle is not going to let anyone dictate her career. But will this fight push her to new heights, or will it further damage her relationship with the public? With more projects in the works, the question is, how many more public confrontations will Meghan Markle have to face before her image is permanently reshaped? We'll have to wait and see.